Hello there, Lena here. I'm a Russia Team Deputy Lead and an analyst here at ISW, and today I'm going to talk about the interplay between ongoing Russian offensive operations in Kharkiv and Donetsk oblasts, and what this can tell us about prospects for the battlefield over the coming weeks and months. Over the past few weeks, and particularly the past week, ISW has observed an important dynamic in the theater in Ukraine, namely that the tempo of Russian offensive operations in northern Kharkiv Oblast has decreased, while the tempo of Russian attacks in Donetsk Oblast has increased. Russian forces launched a limited offensive operation into northern Kharkiv Oblast in mid-May with the intention of distracting and fixing Ukrainian troops away from other critical sectors of the front. In some ways, Russian forces actually did manage to accomplish that desired effect. Some Ukrainian elements have indeed moved from Donetsk to Kharkiv, including one brigade that was previously operating around Chasiv Yar. But aside from that, Russian offensives in northern Kharkiv Oblast have failed to develop a meaningful penetration of Ukrainian defenses or even fully capture significant settlements such as Vovchansk, which is northeast of Kharkiv city. And Ukrainian forces are responding with tactically significant counterattacks and regaining some territory. In Donetsk Oblast, by contrast, Russian forces have been applying constant pressure on Ukrainian defenders. For example, Russian forces conducted a few platoon to company-sized mechanized assaults in the Siversk direction, northeast of Chasiv Yar, which was previously a very quiet area of the theater. Russian forces also notably reopened a previously dormant part of the Donetsk front in mid-June and started attacking near Donetsk, which is essentially between Chasiv Yar and Avdiivka. Russian attacks in this area have been fairly constant and intense between when they began on June 18th through today, June 27th. And Russian forces have actually made a few tactical advances towards Donetsk itself. Russian troops are attacking in the Siversk and Donetsk directions while also maintaining a relatively high rate of attack in the Chasiv Yar and Avdiivka-Marinka directions. This combination of localized defensive efforts means that Russian forces are pressing along essentially the entire Donetsk Oblast front line. The Russian command is likely leaning into this now to probe the Ukrainian line, especially at a time where they know that Ukraine has been forced to relocate resources due to the Russian Kharkiv Oblast push. So where does this leave us in the coming months? Well, Ukraine is slowly starting to receive and integrate Western-provided military support, which will allow them to stabilize the lines more reliably than they've been able to in the past 6 months, when Ukrainian defensive campaigns have been bounded by materiel and manpower scarcity. Russian forces will have to face this generally more stabilized Ukrainian force, and therefore will be unlikely to create opportunities for operationally significant breakthroughs in Donetsk Oblast in the coming weeks or months. Russian forces will likely continue alternatively pressing on different sectors in the Donetsk front in order to basically bite away at Ukrainian forces in the long term. That's all for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.